was out in '83, I think. So get rid of the mullet, son.
I'd like to call the Joe Burrow fan club back together again. On that field, Burrow was the better quarterback over Baker, without question. Without question. Baker's so overrated, and here goes Cleveland again.
One great Thursday night game. A great Thursday night game. As much as I like Gardner Minshew, next week's is not going to be as good. The Miami Jaguars, I doubt it will be. But like you said, Browns won the game. As long as they build an offensive line for Burrow, Bengals win the war. Because you look at what Baker played fine against the Bengals, but Bengals did not have Geno Atkins, did not have Daniels, particularly Geno Atkins. He is truly their only great pass rusher. So they had no pass rush. And to be fair to the Browns, it's the right way to do this. Just take Chubb, just take a Hunt, just run the ball, try to keep the ball away from Baker as much as possible. Just do play action and bootleg rollouts. Don't have him actually try to win the game because you don't want to do that. Like, they understand what he is already through 2+ years. Burrow, without a line, he was creating plays that I don't think any quarterback for the Bengals, possibly going back to Greg Cook, could have done. So,
you don't think Boomer could have? Come on.
Boomer was good. I don't think Boomer is not as athletic as Joe Burrow.
Boomer had that chip on his shoulder, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's that name, you know.
All right, I got a bone to pick, and it's about announcers. Yeah. We need to do something, guys. Greg Gumbel is 74. Tim Brando, who's horrible, he must have taken Tommy Brenneman's place on Fox because he got the game that was whatever. He's 64, and Dick Stockton is 77 years old. Can we not give younger people a chance here? Give me a break. Did you hear Gumbel calling that game? He's about as exciting as a burnt bagel out of a toaster, man.
Well, yeah.
Come on. Help me out.
It is worrisome that, like, you had a cynic star in Gus Johnson, but it feels like Jim Nantz felt too much heat on him. And luckily, Gus Johnson probably got a higher paying job becoming the voice of college football on Fox.
Right.
But it's like he looked like a young up and coming star. Well, that's the thing is, like, you bring up a good point. Like, Mike Tirico is the guy in waiting to become the voice of Sunday Night Football. What is he? Is he close to 60?
Our crack research department will get back to you on that.
Yeah. But and look, I love Mike Tirico, but it is like crazy to think like he's the voice in waiting just because Al Michaels is probably at least 50 to 60 years older, but they're both.
Tirico is 53.
Oh, okay.
And Al Michaels, I know he's 75. So set the Wayback Machine, will you? Give me a break. But, okay.
But one other team I'm buying even though is the Rams. Whoa, I know it's not the most. I know they're not the most like sexy teams or whatever, but Jared Goff, after looking out of sorts last year, I think they've developed a system that really makes them work, where it's a lot of short passes, misdirections, occasionally intermediate to deep throws. They are one of the few teams I can think of that have a running back by committee that are using 3+ backs, and all of them are working on some level. And the big move that has paid dividends for the first 2 weeks is they fired their defense coordinator and brought in Brandon Staley. And Brandon Staley's defense, they've allowed 17 points to Dallas, 19 to the Eagles through first 2 weeks. It's just been really impressive, and just NFC West is clearly the best division in football, flat out.
But Lugs, you'll remember this: the Rams' new uniforms, don't they look like those iron-on transfer numbers on there? You know?
Oh yeah.
You know, I'm talking about there. That's kind of cheesy looking.
It's the old style. Yeah, they went retro or whatever.
They're like reflective. It looks like something you got down at Signs R Us.
Yeah.
It was not a good idea. I know they wanted to make a big deal moving to the new stadium.
Yeah.
It's they should have just stuck with the white.
Classic.
That's the thing is when you try to go with like an off-color cream or I think it's bone. I think it's actually technically I think what they call the color is bone.
The color
Like,
is bone.
Why do you ever want a jersey to resemble a bone? I have no idea. But it's
all right. Anything else on that, or do you want to move on to the college football game of the week?
Let's give Lamar a little love because Lamar looked good. You know, and the Texans, their defense is not that bad, but Lamar had them. Yeah, again, they're like in the headlights, sort of, on a couple of plays because they didn't know where anything was going to. So,
the biggest compliment I'll pay to Lamar is this in terms of just the maturity of him. Obviously, coming off of a MVP year, he might feel compelled. And actually, to be fair to Luggs, I know this is probably some of his biggest accusations against Carson. Carson seems to always want to go for the big play, where Lamar understood, I think, how that game was playing out. I know statistically his numbers aren't overwhelming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He understood he didn't need to make too big of plays, just keep the offense consistently moving down the field. They didn't have to make splash plays. Just you keep the moving steady. You know, if no one's open, just throw it away, settle for field goals. Like it's just, I think that's how much he's matured in just that short amount of time.
I think that's the word, maturity.
Yeah,
the man recognizes what the strength of pro football is, and the strength of it is making the right decision at the right time, and he's doing that.
But can somebody talk to John Harbaugh and get him out of there when it's garbage time? They're up by 20 points, and he's still in the shotgun. And why don't they pull him? I mean, he's gonna. It's a short life. Come on.
It's a legitimate. It's a legitimate thing to worry about, just because there are certain players that might get upset and they might take a shot. So.
Oh yeah. Speaking of taking shots, Miami, Louisville. Those Miami guys were taking some serious shots at U of L players when they didn't have to.
No.
You know, it was just nasty time. Back to nasty time with Miami, but I got to give it to them, man. They look good. That quarterback, King.
Yes.
He's King. Legitimate.
D'Eriq King, yeah.
Yeah. So, but, U of L.
Tough game.
You know, yeah, it was. I think if he's Mikhail or Malik, whatever his decision is, they were calling him Malik. We've been calling him Mikhail.
Well, he just changed before that game, they said. He went back to Malik.
Okay. Well,
just like your Chugs now, just effective at this 23 minutes into the show, you went from Lugs to Chugs, just so you know.
But I'm having chest pains too, so
okay.
You may have to do a runner on.
So you're Tyrod then.
Okay. Yeah, Justin Herbert in here, friend of the podcast, Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, right?
Filling for Chugs,
along with Don Fisher. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Miami looked good though, and it's good to see the turnover chain come back, and it's a new one. I heard the whole story. They were killing time. Did you hear him explain the whole turnover chain? It's quite fascinating. Fascinating.
After about 3 minutes in the third quarter, I had to go away. You know, I went ahead and said, you know, I'm going to bake some cookies. You know, it's like pointless.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, cookies.
Hopefully the biggest takeaway for U of L fans is I do think U of L is good. I just think they ran into a better team. I just think Miami's a better team.
They seemed hungrier too, just like they had it. They were just more juiced.
They have better defensive play. They create a lot more pressure.
What's with that kicker?
Yeah,
good Lord,
4 for 4. That 57-yarder, which could have been good from like 65.
Right, just for fun. Let's just do that. You know. God,
yeah,
that guy. Let's sign him up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was, again, they're trying to fill time. They tell the nice story that he was an FIU transfer who grew up, wanted to be a Miami player. And, you know, like in a big game, the big game of week 2 of college football, or I don't know if it was week 3. I don't know how they wanted to term it. But played exceptional. And Yeah, I just think there were certain plays that King had that just Cunningham is talented, but like you saw some like the one throw where he was rolling out and he just kind of like did a moon drop to a guy and he didn't even really step into the throw. He's on the run and he just kind of flicks with his wrist. You're like, all right, this is not going to be their day.
Yeah. Yeah. So. That King kid's got a shot, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miami was man for man much more prepared and muscular.
Don't you think they'll surprise some people?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they'll surprise them after that game because everybody's going to be watching now for the King kid, and they'll be scheming for him. But
well, if you all remember, he was fascinating because he was an exceptional player for Houston, and then he played. I want to say he played like 2 games from last year, and he's like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not playing for you. I'm transferring. So,
well, didn't they want to redshirt him or something? It was strange. I remember that story.
Yeah, I guess they were talking to him about wanting to red shirt. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to. Like, I don't think it was injury related. He just, I don't know if it was coaching staff or obviously it was definitely something personality wise with the team that he wasn't feeling it. So he just decided, he's like, I'm not going to be here. So,
yeah.
Miami, Louisville. What a game. Anything else?
I just want to mention. I just saw you and I exchanged emails and you said Staubach. And I thought, I got to find out what's happening to Roger Staubach.
All right.
And so I looked him up. Roger Staubach is one of the wealthiest former NFL players. He was making $20,000 a year when he was at Dallas, his biggest year. He started a real estate firm, which now has 1,600 employees nationwide, and he's worth $610 million. So that's your Roger Staubach update. That's sort of sports of yesteryear meets where are they now kind of stuff.
I like it. It's a new segment.
And now you know more about Roger Staubach. Well, good. Yeah. I'm glad we had this moment in time. Anything else, or are we going to kill this thing?
That's all I got.
I think that's it. Yeah, I just want to say, just kind of go back. Dan Quinn after the Super Bowl.
Oh man,
just how last year played out, and after that game, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think Arthur Blank will keep him till the end of the season, but I don't see how they recover. I mean, Atlanta.
I'm with you.
So.
No, I think mentally that game took a lot out of them. So,
well, mentally this has taken a lot out of us too. This has been sports and other stuff. Time to make some cookies. Brought to you in part by Carlton's Menswear. Come to Carlton's today, and gosh, you'll look good tomorrow. There are 23 Metro locations, including North Riverside Park. There's one near you. When you step in there, you'll ask for
fish, and the man will show you, because we're preparing for cold weather, a good turtleneck or mock turtle. Got a special 3-for-1 sale.
And he might even get you some mock turtle soup. We'll see. We are the Sport Weasels, first in sound, first in service, and first in mock turtles. So long till next time.